Welcome back to Exalted Essence Crimes of Nature. Last time, the crew did a lot of investigation of many things. The ley line investigation went fruitfully. It appears that there is some sort of negative pressure zone in the triangulated area that had been narrowed down, as there is no geomantic manipulation that would explain why all of the ley lines would be otherwise acting strangely. So that kind of leaves an absence that would drag everything in. Some sort of underground void. Who knows what that could be. Additionally, some plans were drawn up and proposed for how to handle this. The initial plan was to subtly disrupt the ley lines of the plan and get them all sorted and more easily finessed, and then afterwards, when you're all ready, just kick it the hell over and then have it be very loud and noticeable and lure out whatever forces the Death Lords, or the Abyssal or whoever is down there have out there to come out spoiling for a fight. The other idea, tabled on the side, was looking down towards the south of the area that had been identified as the suspicious sinkhole for the ley lines, and realizing, there is that Rockshire problem down there. There are the Fae that we hadn't dealt with. What if we go down there and poke them a little bit, try and do some diplomacy, and tell them that it would be a really good idea and a really funny thing to do to go slap a bunch of zombies? Maybe they'd be down for that. Maybe, who knows? Who knows? This is totally a great idea that has absolutely no downsides whatsoever. It'll be great. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Fantastic. In the meantime, the other thing that the crew, well, primarily Repose, learned was upon going back to the monastery upon a request of, hey, when you've got a moment, we've got some information that we really would like to talk to you in person about. Turns out that information turns out the sun, when Sol Invictus saw the group, and by extension Repose, and by extension Repose's entire life and family history and everything, because, even the kind of briefest glance from the sun is going to get a lot of information. Simultaneously, the sun reached out to the temple complex and bestowed a token of acknowledgement on the sect for the first time in 800 years. An overt signal of, okay, I recognize you exist, and instead of the possible feared situation of the sun is now obligated to squish the ghosts, instead sent an emissary, a mouse of the sun, the mouse being well known in folktales as being the favorite animal of the sun, the bravest animal there is, as it has to face every day in a world of horrifying, unconquerable nightmare, just everything out to kill you, and the mouse never falters.
Smallest
And
friend.
smallest and powerfulest friend was found resting happily next to Chief, who was just kind of calm and vibing next to the small friend. The one small animal, possibly in Chief's entire life, that Chief did not maul on sight. Additionally, another piece of very critical information that is still apparently the subject of a great deal of discussion and debate among the ghost cohort of the Vigil's ancestry. Hey, the sun actually shined into the underworld very briefly during that sunset through the casket of the Tomb of the Grand Abbess, and none of the ghosts had the instinctual fear of it. The sun struck Repose's family off the Creatures of Darkness roll. The ghosts of the Vigil are now officially, yeah, sure, that I guess they're fine. I don't have to blow them up on sight, actually. That's putting it as a big deal would be understatement for how much precedent there is for this kind of thing. There's not much. There's almost none, actually. There is almost no precedent for entire groups of ghosts being given the thumbs up. Individuals, sure. Entire sect and hundreds, if not thousands, of family ancestry cult given the thumbs up, that's new. That's a big deal. That's a big change.
Judges are
And
typing. Diplomats are typing.
Yeah, a whole... Just the immediate impression, number one, is all of the family ghosts are trying to figure out what the hell do we do with this information? What do we do? Do we actually, like, take him up on... Did we go up in the sun? Was that the mistake? Was that a serious thing that he meant? Like, if we go up there, is the sun gonna be... What if the moon murders us? What if Luna's not cool with this? What if the rest of them are not cool with this? What if this was just something the sun did and everybody's arguing about this? And simultaneously, there is the absolute certainty that no matter what the rest of heaven thinks or does not think about what the sun did or how much they know, oh boy, there is a lot of status quo in celestial law and the general tenets of most religions that are endorsed by the states of the world that just got kicked the fuck over because the thing at the top of the pyramid looked down and said, actually, you know that really fundamental base tenet? Fuck it, I'm making an exception. You handle it. So
make it work. Thanks.
Yep. The director looked down and said, you know, fuck your policy, actually. Those guys are cool. You rewrite the bylaws. Make it happen. See ya! So, several centuries-old ghosts are going to be spending quite a while seeing how far they feel like they can push their luck, and also trying to discuss theologically, how do we explain this? What actually just happened?
These are the mysteries.
And so, we shift back to the big map from the monastery for the setup of the next idea, which, as mentioned, what if we go talk a little bit to the fair folk? I mean, they can't be that bad. They gotta be reasonable, right? You gotta be able to do some diplomacy with the Fae.
You do, in fact, not have to give it to them.
Okay, so just to be sure, our big plan is to get them involved and then prank them at the worst possible moment.
Yes. For objective, provoke them into attacking
a vicious
the
pranking.
Weaver, or whoever else is at the Mystery Lodge over here.
If we get
Trick them
involved,
into
then...
sallying forth and doing some stuff, which...
yeah.
Another thing that occurs to me just now, hey, what if the folks at the factory are tipped off that there will be an upcoming time when there's going to be a lot fewer folks guarding
a lot fewer Raksha.
The dust pile.
Go looting.
Hey, time for a big score.
Yeah, because a lot of the care is taken so people don't get wild mutations. The other part of the care is so they don't, overly excite and annoy the Raksha living underneath their feet and provoke a retaliation. But if they're all going out on if they're going out on a Balurian Crusade Junior, then there's nobody home to stop you from taking off the dust.
Yeah,
hold on. We could also blame them after this is over for everything that's happening out here, so that whenever someone asks from outside, they said, "Oh yeah, the Fae got loose. Don't worry about anything else that happened. It was just the Fae." We have a convenient scapegoat for everything.
Creates an option.
And we should set up a contingency if, okay, now that the Fae are out and messing with our enemy, what's the cleanup plan?
Scenario, the Fae are out. Problem, the Fae are out.
We have the Inquisition in the loop here. They could easily be the people to go take care of that.
Yep. That was my thought of getting the Immaculate Order on board as, okay, stand in the wings, wait for the two enemies of creation to punch each other, and then we go in and clean up.
Yep. We do the move. Let them fight. Then also we fight.
Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Then also we fight. Alright, so if I remember correctly, there was a group that settled on going over into the Strange Fire area, and I don't recall which three it was.
That
Obsidian,
was
Angler, and the Neve.
Alright.
Yep.
So, before going into the area proper, would there be precautions you make or take?
absolutely. Step 1, take off these costumes.
Yeah.
But you mean the most convincing disguise in the world?
Look, I don't want to end up as a parody of myself, but in real life.
Milan takes off the mask to reveal Milan.
Sting.gif. So, anybody else? Or Milan?
Probably take some of that rust we've collected and apply that as a paste over the body.
Roll me finesse sagacity. The base threshold is 3. You will get more useful information if you get above that.
Only 3.
While that would be useful in stopping you from getting Fey mutations, it's also the equivalent of walking into...
Okay, so it'd be walking in...
Walking in covered in uranium and being like, hello, I mean you goodwill!
Fair point.
If you have that idea, you're gonna have to find a less innately hostile to their existence way of doing it.
Did any of you take Chaos Warding Principle?
I know this
Chaos
came up at the
Warding
end of last
Principle?
session.
I have it, yes.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah,
That's your prep.
I believe it. Yeah, we mentioned this last time. Everyone has it except for Yang, who is the smartest of all of us.
Yeah, so we have the
You
the
have
Dragonborns.
protection from the Fae at home.
Alright. Obsidian or Angler, would you have ideas of things to do? Or etc.?
I mean, Angler has the warding ability, so he's going to be using that. For the most part, though, he doesn't want to walk in with the obvious of, hey, we don't trust you. But at the same time, of the 3 here, Angler has the least hope of this working. So he's kind of at an impasse.
Roll me... I will accept either Embassy or Sagacity with a difference in how I present the information depending on what you use.
This would be a sagacity roll. As much as it would be for Embassy, he's not going in thinking of it being that way. And it doesn't matter what stat I use, they're all 5, so 3.
Honestly, if you go in too naively friendly, they're gonna see you as a sucker. There is an element of, okay, you're on your guard. I can't run one past you for free. Some hostility is not going to immediately provoke them into attacking you. If anything, it might make them respect you or find you more interesting, because there is a bit of a, oh, there's some stuff going on. But...
Okay.
Like, again, the big issue with the rust is you're going in with something that kills them slathered all over your body. Attitude-wise, so long as you make the story interesting, as far as you know how the Fae work, so long as you are interesting enough to not kill and or do something horrible to in the short term, you can probably get away with a decent bit.
You two could probably stick your weapons in this, the rust to have it slathered. I don't know if I should put my boots in because I'll be walking on the ground, whatever it'll be in there, and that might be a bad idea.
Good point.
If you have a way of,
We could probably use
sheathing your weapons.
the grenade system we used last time. We just have. Yeah, Milan's gonna stock up on grenades from Yang.
I
Yeah.
realize Angler's way of getting ready for battle, he brings the grenades in, is just doing the LeBron salt thing at the beginning of a fight. All right, here we go. Covered in salt, covered in rust. Let's do this.
Okay, and
Obsidian still has his grenade from the beginning of the campaign.
Yeah, Obsidian has Newbie specifically asked me a couple of questions about how the rust grenades work because of this scene. So
nice. Okay, so actually, I figured what Milan's actual prep is coming up with a interesting enough story about what's going on that we can use to convince the Fae to mobilize.
Mm-hmm.
What parts can we embellish and lie about to make things more enticing? Of hey, yeah, you should go punch these nerds.
And what parts don't need embellishing, or like what things to be avoided, what things to be fluffed up, and what things are honestly good enough on their own.
I would highly recommend we don't lie about anything. Just omissions, sure, but don't outright tell a lie.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea of the thing that is constantly eating for forever and ever might entice them. Or it could also be that the ley lines are being moved and changed. And if that happens and they keep getting pushed further and further towards entrances to the wild, bad things might happen. Because we do have a couple of ley lines that are quickly, that have been pushed towards the wildfire pocket, correct? They're not going there now, but they are in that direction.
Well, they're being pulled from the pocket.
Yeah. Even better.
So the way I'm going to approach this is Milan's going to make the story into the ultimate fortress that cannot be sieged, which is creation itself, and sort of entice them of, oh hey, let's go siege this fortress that is creation in this one specific spot. How could you break this? Wiggles eyebrows.
Oh boy. Keep that in your back pocket.
Will do.
So, upon approaching the wildfire area, I'm not going to make you roll a travel roll to get there because you already know the area well enough. You have the support of the town, and you are going in trying to get noticed and trying to get an invitation in. So, it takes about a day to get down there via walker, less via sorcery. Upon entering again, it is again slightly unsettling how normal it feels on the edges of the pocket before you go in. There are the flame geysers, there's the dust, there's just this haze in the air that is partially heat distortion and partially you're not sure what you would really call it. It's just kind of a little... If the air was like it's like someone slapped the side of a Jell-O mold, except that's your whole vision. Just everything is ever so slightly wiggled. And upon going in, who would be taking points socially? Like, who would be at the front of the the group? Like, who would be presenting themselves as I am boss?
Angler takes two giant steps back.
Yep. Milan is going to step forward and take the position of the crab.
Define what that means, actually.
Okay, spread your legs out wide, crouch down, hold your arms up like claws. Now walk sideways.
Okay, spot grab.
Fortitude performance roll, please.
Sure
with
thing.
With the stunt.
Five successes as I mimic crab.
So for about 5 or 10 minutes, this doesn't really seem to accomplish much aside from making you feel increasingly, slowly, very silly. Also kind of stretching out your hamstrings a little bit. It starts to get kind of uncomfortable around minute 10. But you've done enough training with Old Man and holding odd positions for long enough as part of your sorcery that it's not too bad. At which point, right as you are starting to think this is stupid, I need to be doing something else, this is not working, your foot sinks about 6 inches into the ground, so like, about up to your shin. And it's not like something is grabbing it or you're in a sinkhole or something like that. Very briefly, you wonder, oh god, did I step on a geyser? Am I about to have my leg blown off? But no, it is more that you have stepped on loose, recently disturbed soil, and you are stepping on top of something much more solid beneath it, with a kind of hollow thunk. How would you react to that?
So I stepped on something and it gave way, and there's something beneath me.
Basically, you stepped on recently disturbed loose soil, and your foot landed on something much more solid that had somewhat of a hollow sound when you landed on it. Like, it feels like stone beneath your feet, but like stone with something under it.
I'm going to start kicking away at the dirt below me, and seeing if I can clear it out. And I'm gonna signal to everyone, "Hey, I found something."
All right.
As you begin to kick, Angler takes a few steps forward and uses. Make sure I have the right
Oh,
one for
right.
this.
Yes, we've got Earth Friend. We've got Earth Sense.
All-encompassing Earth Sense. Maybe we don't disturb this and we look at what it is first before bad things happen.
No.
Yeah, if you want to.
Why would we think first?
Well, all right, that's two out of three. So you would be doing that, even if Angler was like, "Let's take a look." Well, you've already got 2 people moving it. So
No, that was more jokingly. Please
Okay.
find out what the fuck is under there first.
Okay.
Look,
yeah,
we thought about this earlier. Now we don't need to think about this.
All right, finesse awareness from Angler.
Okay. Fuck it. I'm too curious not to use it.
Are you using all-encompassing Earth Sense?
No, using an excellency.
Ooh.
Woo! Okay, so you very carefully lean in and examine, and a couple of things immediately stick out to you. One, that's bedrock. That is bedrock way up higher than it should be. Like, by several feet minimum, if not dozens of feet. This is like someone just kinda grabbed and dragged the solid rock that should be under multiple like feet of soil and dust and all of the stuff around here, and just kind of went swoop straight up. This is not natural in any way, and it doesn't even seem, air quotes, natural by virtue of sorceress manipulation or other essence things. This is just someone arbitrarily Gmod dragged the damn thing up. And as you examine it further, there is a careful set of incisions all along the rock that indicate that this is a hatch. That is... You can see where you can put your fingers in a couple of divots and depress what feel like sliding stones within it, and you feel a latch pop. And the hatch starts to give way. And again, it's bedrock, it's fucking heavy, but it also feels like it has been hollowed out on the inside, so it is not crushingly heavy. It is able to be opened without
Okay, wait.
exerting them. Go on.
I am gonna say you keep saying it's heavy, it's heavy. I am standing right here.
Yes, but I'm also making this point specifically so you don't have to blow out all of those motes. Like, this is heavy, for people without obsidian powers.
Hey,
Okay.
I'm pretty strong too.
Yeah, you too.
It is heavy, and it is moving for now.
Yes. So you are able to pop it open, and the inside... everybody roll me a fortitude integrity check when you look inside.
Everyone?
The 3 people who are there, pardon me.
I see.
Unless old man wants to manifest.
Does old man want to be present in this scene via old man magic?
You know what? Sure, why not?
All right. This is gonna make some more things
No,
interesting.
I was also here. I am also here.
Like, old man is just kind of leaning over everybody's shoulders.
Oh no, did old man witness me do the crab pose?
Probably.
Yes.
From a
no.
distance.
I can't believe I've been so owned.
All right, so Milan's got a 4, Angler's got a
See-
3, Obsidian.
Look, I'm seeing if I have an integrity
I also have a 4.
charm for this.
I have the excellency, but I chose not to use it. I
No,
immediately.
I'm
You-
seeing if I have
decision.
turnway stuff.
I will say
That's more than enough. Oof.
I will say you're fine for hitting a 3. It's just going to be a little disorienting.
That's whatever. My flashlight skin kicks on again. Hooray!
Okay, I was seeing if chaos warding principle actually gave me any bonuses. It does not.
Mm-mm.
Oh, we can. Can it just be assumed that the three of us are using chaos
Yeah.
warding stance?
Oh, I've already committed the moat.
I kind of figured that that was an obvious thing, but you
I
never
figured
know.
that was a going without saying situation.
Yeah. Anyway, 7.
All right, so Angler has a moment of looking down where Angler's eyes start reporting. There's a conscious gap for a moment of Angler's eyes begin to report visual phenomena, and then it hits the brain, and then the brain is like, bullshit, no, send that back, that's wrong. So there's this palpable sense of I can see something, but my brain is not letting me understand it. I'm not looking at it. There is no conscious awareness of what I am looking at, and it is a deeply unsettling set of long moments where Angler's brain is just trying to catch up with what is even. Milan and Old Man do slightly better, where instead of a just kind of blind spot, error, brain not found moment, they are able to make out the rough. You could call it like a carved down ladder? Maybe? It's got the right shape. It's hard to describe visually. You are getting the sense by looking at it, you are making it suddenly have to stand up and call itself to attention and go, oh crap, I have to decide what I am right now. Ladder. Obsidian actually gets a full view of this process. Obsidian, when opening the hatch, gets a good look down and realizes that there is everything / nothing simultaneously in the shaft down. It is just potentiality for a brief moment. It is unresolved. Nobody's looking at me, so who cares what I am right now? Oh shit, someone's looking at me. No. I was following the rules. I'm good. Nope. Totally normal. Totally normal ladder sitting right here. Thank you very much.
Yeah, whatever's down there does not want to be observed.
More accurately, that it was not expecting to be observed.
Damn. Riala's got to put its pants on real quick. Don't come in.
Yeah, basically, you caught the wild without its creation mask on for a brief second.
Just a bit of a tip of the
I
hat
should've
to
knocked.
Once you go deep enough into the wild, everything has googly eyes.
I should not have continued to look through the stone. Oh, that's gonna take a minute. I don't. Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
like, Angler is beginning to have a slight migraine, the bioluminescent markings are lit up, and there is slight nausea. It's just like your whole body is just like, oh, whoa, I don't like whatever just happened.
Just for a second, he mentally finds that point he uses for the spirit, writing technique, and just pokes it in his own brain to shut it off. Like, nope, we're going dark for about 10 seconds so I can recover.
Yeah, you just turn off your visual processing to let your brain hard reboot.
What's wrong, youngin? So are you experiencing some discomfort as old man like wiggles his like wiggly bits, which is all of them. He's very wiggly in general.
Give me
Combined
about
with the
10 seconds to stop thinking about everything, and I'll respond to you.
in the time it takes for now that the hatch is open and, the afternoon to evening sun is shining down into it, and it is now therefore being forced to play by the rules, you are able to see at the bottom, probably about 30 or 40 feet down the ladder, is a coalescence of vaguely humanoid shapes with lit up yellow, red, and otherwise there's just kind of luminescent gemstone and flowstone and magma eye colors looking up from the dark below, just like, what the hell? They're not they are definitely apprehensive, but they're not hostile. It is just a moment of wait. Did the humans just wait, hold on. We usually go find, wait, they're coming to our door. What? Help! We don't have a
Milan
script for
is
this!
going to step forward and drop down the hatch.
Alright, and you're an air aspect, so you don't have to worry about fall damage.
Yep.
So you just kind of hop down with a little ankle hop and go flying down 40 feet. And I will go shift us to the map for this event.
I will stretch my way down second.
Okay.
I jump.
And
Yeah,
it just
it's-
slides down the wall.
Yeah, the lot of you are good enough at mobility that I'm not actually justifying any powers rolls anyway. When you hit the bottom, again...
Yes.
Now that shakes.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
How do you do? Welcome
hold
to
the fucking
settlement.
phone. Hold the fucking phone.
Yes.
Am I looking at what I think I'm looking at?
Yeah, you are.
Fuck is this?
This motherfucker over here made an ASCII map.
Oh, it's not just an ASCII map, my
It's
friend.
specifically a Dwarf Fortress one, yes.
Yep.
Alright, looking over here, we got table, throne, table.
Throne, table,
Throne.
throne. Shit, I didn't put the statues in time.
Yep,
Oh, well.
Angler just takes one look and goes, yep. I'm out.
Well,
Looks
for
up, can't
elves
get out.
under
Nah,
the
I'm stuck
ground.
here.
That's dwarves.
Human nobles are visiting your fortress.
What are all these ones doing and not building a wooden structure at the top of it that people can live in before they dig down? That doesn't make any sense.
Says the human.
How dare you?
Better to just live in a wooden box. I don't get it.
You're gonna trade us an elephant in a cage for everything that we own. I don't want that one, assholes.
I'm so glad I went with this idea. Holy shit. So yeah, this is, in addition to being a metatextual joke, roughly about the level of information processing your brain is able to do once you enter the Fey domain is just, hello, is shapes? Yes, hello, perfectly normal, is shape, is representational object here. Yes, you see dot, that is Fey. You see shape, that is bed. That is bed shape, yes, correct? It is just your senses are aware of what this should be, but your eyes are telling you that's just a circle with the what? That's not a bed. And then your brain goes, yeah, no, that's a bed. I can lie down on that. That's a bed. It's got the sheets and everything. See, right there is the cabinet, and right there's the chest, and over there's the door, and why does this make sense? Why does it look like
point
this?
out that a dwarf bed has no sheets involved. It is just a piece of wood.
Mm-hmm. Also, I think you can make them out of stone now after one of the updates? Or are they still the only thing that you have to make out of wood? I know they did that for faces at some point. Anyway, unrelated.
Yes, hello, I am a bed. If you trust me to guard you for 8 hours, I will give you refreshment.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, your brain is simultaneously trying to resolve the mass of... You are aware that what you are looking at is low on the pecking order for Raksha, because they are barely even cohesive into a narrative shape or form, They are motes of light slash kind of small folk with burning eyes like gemstones and magma slash just the equivalent of crowd noise but visually as people. This
They
is
need alcohol to get through the working day.
yes. This is just your brain is consciously aware this is side characters in a way that is not. It is like it is explicitly in your mind's in universe that you are looking at the bit characters.
You are watching the less detailed figures in the background of a painting just walking around right next to you. And they're
Yes.
still low poly and undetailed.
Milan is going to tip and bow the hat and then just keep walking in.
Yeah. When you begin to walk in, roll me force presence on that for your approach on that.
Fey commoners, the flat texture pretending to be a 3D model that's always pointed at you.
Yes, dude, like the doom bushes.
3 successes.
All right, so you get about here before the commoners just kind of they don't block your path, but they're standing behind you and starting to stand in a circle around you.
I'm going
They
to
are like
walk
they are
up-
stammering, trying to find the words. But
I'm
Obsidian-
going to walk up next to him and just kind of look at them like, no, we have business here.
All right, you roll force presence with the stunt.
Okay.
Oh, our player characters have walked into the skybox. Background.
Yeah, no. The moment they are trying to bring up objections of any sort of like, "Where's your invitation?" or "Who are you?" or "What are you doing here?" Obsidian walks up and they immediately go, no. They have just enough awareness to recognize, oh wait, that's somebody important from topside. That's one of creation's special people. That's one of the people that the Shapes Land made important and scary. We'll be out of your way, sir. Thank you very much. We'll just be all over here and we won't be making any promise for you. Thank you.
Yo, that guy has theme music.
Yes.
I appreciate the one Fey commoner stretching. It's very good.
Just
I would prefer to not get welcome to Corneria here, and let us move on.
all right. So
Oh, you should have
have-
left that one long.
you have a rough awareness via just the rules of this place that meta-narratively I don't really have anything off to the sides of this map further in. You know that there's more in there, but number one, it is not really shaped for people right now. It is not meant for any sort of interaction with Shape Zone, and being shapes in its vicinity will be probably met as an active hostility. That is likely, for those who are more aware of the occult, what is the name of the stupid thing? Banefires? There is a source of power on top of a domain that the Fae have to use to keep the wild running, and it is deeper within, and if you went anywhere near that thing, they would all just jump on you and try to rip your head off. So
Now it's not the time to go critique and shake our heads disapprovingly of their workshop setup.
yes. And so this is roughly, without express permission, this is about the map of the area that you can go without pushing your luck way too hard. So, would you investigate left or right first?
Now,
I recommend left. Always go left.
My left or his left?
Yeah, actually, map left
Your
or
left
when you were
or
turning.
cartographic left.
Yeah.
Fey left or right left?
This left or this right.
I think that's the point.
Yeah, I know.
That's the joke. Okay, Milan is going to probably get to here.
Mhm.
Let's see, there's 2 people standing between opening and 2 people standing between doors. Doors seem important. I'm going to the doors.
All right. The commoners here have slightly more definition. You could tell that they are holding weapons of some form. Like, out of the corner of your eye, that might be a Guandao. No, that looks like a pike. No, wait, Grisar? It is just a quantum state of long, pointy object. And every time you focus your eyes on it, it is a different form of it.
Just glaze over and think polearm. Bam. done.
Generic polearm.
Yes.
Stick.
And they stand at attention and kind of tap the base of the polearm at the ground when you walk by. Clearly, they are some form of guard. And that you have established yourself as, okay, you're here on business, we will be doing guard duty, you know, behave yourself, and we will not get into any trouble. Please don't please don't hurt us. So, walking in further, you also notice that they're not really talking unless you are directly acknowledging them or making eye contact. They are very much avoiding any direct interaction with you unless forced.
They only make any sound so long as you're within a 5-meter radius around them, and it like comes in and out of volume depending on how close you are to them.
Yes. So, upon opening the...
Oh my god, they're Bethesda NPCs.
I've just been
There's a
imagining
lot-
this is an Oblivion scene, yes.
Yep.
There are a lot of jokes we could be making right here, and Dwarf Fortress was the one that I realized was going to be the funniest for me. Alright, so where and what did I have for the next bit? I think it was this. Okay, so when you open the door, there is these sounds of, again, it is the canned equivalent of any noise of revelry you've ever heard at the parties you have visited, of tea houses and inns and bars and raucous events you have ever gone to, all in a language that you know is not a language you don't understand. It's a language that doesn't exist. It is noises that sound roughly like languages. Like it is the if you've ever seen those videos of people speaking what English phonemes sound like to non-English speakers, it's that equivalent of like, I almost understand this.
Yeah, there's
And
a
it-
Simlish crowd in here.
Yes.
Prison calling that choosal. Alright.
Yeah. And
Susu.
at the far end is something more defined, but your brain, instead of, these are not defined because I'm not really supposed to be looking at them because they're not important, the figure at the far end of the hall is less defined because it is refusing to be defined. What you are looking at is something in constant flux. It is roughly approximating a consistent series of imagery that is not consistent whenever you are looking at it. Like, you blink and it is a different set of shapes, or you have a moment where it's in the corner of your eye and you have a suddenly different shape. The figure at the far end, first of all, I will make you have a finesse sagacity roll.
Okie dokie. Press the wrong button. Okay, there we go. 6 successes.
Alright, that's probably what the texts are referred to as a Fey Noble. Those are the ones that are actually self-aware, and the closest thing that you would refer to as a person from the Raksha and the Wild is a chunk of Wild that has made agreements with creation enough to be something that can say, I am, and have that make sense to itself. It is a collection of narratives, ideas, personage, and themes that is roughly assembled in the shape of a person or a sapient entity and has basically agreed, all right, Shapesland, I will play your game because it's interesting, but I'm still gonna play my version of your game. And again, the generic traits that keep shifting into place as you are watching this creature are the smile is ever present. It is always a little too big for whatever face it has. Human, leonine, and a lot of lion shapes are appearing in it. A lot of regality. Some underground creatures, some chitin, other just sometimes it's mandibles, but every time it is a smile that is too wide and right on the edge of friendly, and I am showing my teeth as a threat. The eyes are also consistently a color of superheated rock, and the hands are always constantly doing something. How many there are, what digits they have, what creature shape they belong to, is unclear and in constant shape, but they are always gesticulating or, making a reference to something else or running a hand down the blade of a weapon at the hip if there is one there. It is constantly trying to make a point with its limbs. It is gesticulating and communicating non-verbally with its hands at all times. And then it opens its mouth and communicates verbally. Well, this is a welcome surprise.
At this, Milan gives this. All right, I want to make a roll for this to give that's a self-introduction of who we are. As yes, we are just as important as you walking into this room, trying to establish we are standing on the same level.
Okay, you are going into this declaring yourself exactly equal, not subordinate or superior.
Yes.
I demand that you create 3 copper weapon racks.
Obsidian
shout out to the
hanging
people
around
who
in the hall. Has Obsidian gotten into a talk with the broker?
Yeah, is Obsidian actually hanging out in the hall, or would Obsidian be following behind?
Newbie might have stepped away for a moment. Oh, there he
That's
is.
Sorry, I have
It's good.
stepped away.
No, it's all right. Also, yeah,
Every
shout
time you
outs
stepped away for literally any reason, by the way. It's because of Minmo.
shout outs
that's
to
a
the
fact.
people in
I
the chat.
stepped away for any reason at any time. It's because my guts were inside out for the last day
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Stay safe.
Because of Minmo.
Minmo.
because of Minmo.
Minmo's
Uh,
revenge.
Yeah, but just shout outs to the people in the chat. The second they saw the purple smiley face, they knew it was a Fey Noble. I did that for you.
Minmo was standing
Okay.
out here talking to the guards.
I am
Minmo.
offering
Minmo's in
a.
here. Ah!
I am offering a embassy role to establish my cred, so to speak, in
Okay.
this situation.
What would your argument be for we are exactly equal? Like, it's fine if you don't have
Yeah.
one. I'm just seeing if you have a stunt for this.
Thinking. What would we do to establish? Oh yeah. Wait, we're Dragon Blood. What are we doing? We have control of the elements. we are the elements walking into. We are creation walking into your domain. We're not. Milan's going to flare his anima during this show of greetings. So I'm going to do this forcefully.
Okay, so that'll be Force Embassy with a stunt. Whew! As you walk in, and you intend at first to flare your anima, and then you start realizing, okay, you are operating on creation's rules, but you are also now in a situation where you have to cut compromises with the world around you. You are no longer in direct control of everything about you and your element. And so what you intend to be just kind of a dramatic billowing outward of your robes to flare your anima and show your expression turns into a gust of air that it's like picks up the fey commoner as you are walking up from the chair and slams it into the wall so hard it turns into paste. Just completely annihilates it. And the smile on the noble's face just grows wider. Well, straight to the point then.
I lean into the door of like, hey man, I thought we weren't gonna go loud.
We aren't.
Milan, realizing I wanted to walk in and I wanted to make myself exactly equal to the noble that rules this realm. How do I do that? Kill one of his subordinates. Only one. As a way of going, hello, I am your equal. I treat these as not people. And the world was like, alright, I got that for you. Splat!
Someone is already coming by with a trowel and a bucket to collect the commoner
Yes.
paste to have it sculpted into a new prop.
Yep. Yeah, like, the commoners don't even seem particularly upset about this. They are just kind of like, ah! But, like, even the goo itself, as it's being scraped off and is being congealed into a new form, is actually still moving? You didn't really kill it, you didn't unmake it, you just narratively established, hello, I am important, bang! Just kicked one of the minions out of the way, I'm here to speak with the boss man! And so, thus you are, as the Fey entity just begins to pace down the row of tables and chairs in this great hall. To what honor do I accept the visitation of, well, one would be an unexpected number of the princes of creation, but 3 and... let's call that one... what is that, a party gift? What is that? It just gestures in the vague direction of Old Man.
Outlier.
That one does as it pleases.
Ah, kindred spirit of its own way, then. Excellent. Now, clearly that you are here on some form of business, it says, gesturing with one of the spare hands to the commoner being scraped off of the wall, so I shall hardly stop you from declaring what the business it is that you have here. Of course, you do have business here, and you weren't here simply to entertain yourself. Although, if that is what you were seeking, I can certainly think of some ways of accommodating that.
Oh, but I arrived with big news!
Oh?
Why, we have a new neighbor here near you in creation, and why, I do believe they've sort of established themselves as, seeing themselves immortal and impenetrable. I thought you might want to know about your new neighbor.
When you say the word immortal, it just is kind of like, yeah, whatever. Like, it is not even dismissive, it just, the word does not register to the Fae. The word impenetrable, like unassailable, suddenly gets the attention as it is all of a sudden, like, way too close to you, like, now personal space invadingly close. The smile is taking up a considerable portion of your vision. When does it suddenly 10 feet tall? Goodness gracious. Do go on.
All right, at this, Milan is going to start spinning the tale of the impenetrable fortress of the Netherworld, using the very earth of creation as its walls. So Milan is going to introduce, okay, here's the situation, and to lead this off, Milan's going to mention it, and it is just north of here, a day's walk with my own 2 feet.
Okay, roll me finesse.
The jump from over here to over here as you entered the conversation menu.
Yes.
Stop.
Finesse, and I will accept either embassy for the base version or war for a stronger benefit.
Okay, I only have a 2 in war, so that's not a good idea. So what I'm going to do, looking at charms, Can I have more than one mote committed for charms?
Yes, it just
Okay.
means that mote is not available to spend and will not come back until you decommit it and then let a recharge period go.
Okay. I'm going to use second chance approach for the duration of the scene. Reduce difficulty of social actions against characters with negative intimacies towards me or my cause by 2. This is a fae, and I am a physical being. I'm sure there's very much animosity between our two existences.
Mm-hmm.
And then double nines in attempting to instill positive intimacies towards me or my cause. And my cause is I want to talk this up as this big impenetrable thing, and I'm trying to act like a bard telling a story.
Okay.
With the intent of like, but what could you if only there was something to do about this. Looks at Mandela crushing smile, wink wink.
Alright, so that is 11 successes as you are spinning this tale. And
That was the introduction roll.
Yeah. Right.
That is 8 successes.
Right. So let's go switch over again. As you are beginning to give the details that you know and spin the very baroque, elaborated tale of the underworld and the abyssal and the ghost and the threat to the north, there's this sensation, like, you feel, you know that you could move, but you are not paralyzed, but certainly much more incentivized by all of your movements feeling heavy to not move, as the mandala crushing smile is just pacing around you in a circle, just kind of like a hungry dog or a starving lion listening to you. Just kind of a slow, languid spiral around you. And this is a collection of persons that you've had conflict with before, yes?
You may say they are our antagonists.
Huh. One could say that if they were attempting to pander, which I do note and appreciate. There's always a little bit of enjoyment to be had when a guest knows how to rub the fur the right way, but there is another lean in. It sounds almost as if you're trying to get me to do your dirty work.
Thinking if I want to respond to that. Because the options I can go are either convince them, no, it's not, or yes, it totally is. Boy, wouldn't that leave a big opening against me, wink.
I will give you a fortitude integrity roll to get your gut check of what feels right.
Okay. Five successes of what does my gut say to do?
Do not, under any circumstances, make Mandala crushing smile feel like a fool, or look like a fool.
Flood the room with water.
This is, you are speaking with the literal, maybe only thing, one of at least the small number of things that is capable of being self-aware in this domain. It is, you are speaking with solipsism with a mouth. Go with what they say, but never directly contradict, but if you want to redirect or deny or otherwise, you need to be very careful. You need to finesse this. You can't shut them down and you can't say that they're wrong, or that's going to provoke a hostile response.
I mean,
Okay,
That's
so
that's just regular. That's just regular center bureaucracy right there. That makes perfect sense.
yeah. So in response to this,
Oh, you're a
Milan's
noble.
going to reply, well, what is a not interaction. I can't think of the word, but like what is this if not a bargaining between two members of nobility, bit of give and take each way. Parlay. Yes, thank you. So yeah, Milan's acknowledging yes that you're not wrong. But this is a negotiation, remember.
The smile coils back a little bit and is considering the words, obviously. And I suppose that you're hoping that I would take the joy of the adventure as my payment,
Thinking... How do I want to word this? Okay, gut check of what would a Fae want in this. I wanted to make a roll to see, okay, what would a Fae want out of this?
I'm not even gonna make you roll for the basic answer. Whatever it can get. Whatever you slip up and let it have, it will take, and it has a bottomless appetite. It will take, and it will take, and if it got to the point of you offering it your true name and all of your children and your bloodline and the throne of the Scarlet Empire, it would still want more.
Do it, offer it the throne.
Gotcha! Bad idea!
If that's like sent through any kind of like
Milan is
network, Angler immediately just goes into the like shutdown mode of no.
Milan is going to offer, why of course, the spoils of war. That is what this is, after all.
So you would be surrendering looting rights over it to us then, yes?
And then I slept for 3 long seasons, and then I heard the noble pleading for more armor racks.
Well, looting is the result of war.
How remarkably generous of you. We will gladly take you up on that offer. Of course, invading a novel participant in our little games is something to not be gone into quite too lightly. After all, war is a grand adventure and all, but from the sounds of things, this isn't just a dalliance into the land of calcification and the home of your great mother. This is several layers beyond that as well. The poison that wells beneath the heart of your altogether stifling home.
What would be... Milan's going... I want to give... I'm trying to think of like a good backhanded response that doesn't talk down on him.
So one thing I have in my mind is that, and I don't know if this is work because I don't know how the Fae of this environment work all together.
No, shoot.
But pointing out that if this ne'er-do-well from the underworld gets to creation and destroys it before they can, then they beat them to the punch.
That is a grand argument on the big scope. One noble is not going to even entertain. A noble is going to have a moment of like, yeah, I will destroy creation once I have a giant army. Even the most solipsistic noble is not going to think I alone will destroy all of creation with my grand schemes without a lot of grand schemes to back that up.
Okay.
However, the idea of those are those jackasses that your competitors for the Shapes land, that is a valid line of argument.
Yes, and that's definitely what we're going to follow down as. Oh yes, our enemy is playing at the old favorite game of I can destroy creation by myself. Watch me go. Boy, wouldn't that be hilarious to see it explode in his face?
So you would say the mouth is now circling you and just kind of leaning into an ear. A bit of a crusader, this one sounds like.
Oh, yes.
Oh, but what is a crusader if not with the words of his god in his ear?
Are you familiar with the Church of Balor?
Would that be a roll I can
That
make?
would be a finesse sagacity
Okay.
roll, because you would not know that offhand unless you have deliberately studied the Fae.
6 successes of... Oh, I've heard.
Alright, so
A
I
bit
will give
in
you
there.
the basic version is the Church of Balor is the roughest equivalent the Raksha have come up with to a unifying religion, and unifying is in a giant asterisk, where the head of the invading army during the Great Contagion that bounced into the Great Contagion and was one of the reasons that creation was being completely slaughtered, and was the thing that the nail in the Hundred Kingdoms was fired at, was one of the armies of the Balorian Crusade. The leader of that was Balor, and Balor died capital D, died during the Balorian Crusade at the end of it, and it was a very much combination of the story was going to end of like, oh yes, the grand tragic martyrdom of, our grand crusader at the 11th hour and his, moment of glory where he was about to take over the world and it slipped through his fingers, and what a awful, horrible tragedy. Partially because, and this is a contention among the Fae, did we want the game to actually stop? Like, did he do that on purpose, or did he actually fuck up? No one actually knows what happened, because any Fae that could speak to that are extremely unmade and nothing. So the Church of Balor is kind of a LARP of religion as close as the Raksha can understand it, where they worship Balor's memory, and they are promising to pledge themselves as, knights and crusaders in the grand service of vengeance for Balor and picking up the crusade and finishing his quest once and for all. And what any given Fae court expression of the Church of Balor actually thinks and does is it's the Fae. It could be any goddamn number of things.
Yeah, so Milan's going to give the textbook response that doesn't say either positively or negatively either way to the Church of Balor. Just to try and gauge the response of, okay, are you pro or negative on this?
The smile just grows even more a little uncomfortably wide as it leans in. Roll me Fortitude Integrity.
Okie dokie. Oof, 3 successes.
All right. You are you have two options. Either you tell him exactly what you think of the idea of the Church of Balor, or you take a hard bargain, which is you can tell him whatever you want, but he has a social advantage over you for the rest of the scene that I can cash in.
Ooh, okay.
He is compelling you to be like, no, I asked you what you know of them. And you can feel just less a mind control compulsion and more that just it's kind of almost before you think about it, you are beginning to answer.
Yeah, I'm thinking of how do I want to give this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Milan doesn't have a very good opinion either way, depending on whoever it comes from. So Milan's going to give the overall. Well, I've never been one for faith and belief myself.
There is one of those pauses that in subjective time feels far longer than objective time, except it's in a Fey Dominion, so who the hell knows how much actual time passes? Before the smile leans back. We are alike in that manner. The Church of Balor spends entirely too much time chasing bygone glory, if you ask me. It begins to pace up and down between the chairs, now obviously going on a bit of a soliloquy in your direction, and partially to the commoners around. Like, it's addressing an audience of the commoners and you, rather than just directly speaking to you. The Church focuses on a failed attempt by an admittedly powerful, charismatic, and quite influential member of the gentry, but it stands to ultimate statement that he failed. And why would we retell the same story again when we know how it ended already? And it sounds, quite remarkably, like one of your living, breathing, and shaped folk who has fallen into the pit below your calcified teratoma within the glories of the wild appears to have found some sort of equivalent of Balor in whatever creatures crawled out of that. It just stops and spits rather than finish the sentence. Delusions of grandeur, of unweaving creation with one's own personal hands, assistants or not. Isn't that so much more boring than just seeing what you can get out of it? After all, there's far more entertainment one can extract from settling in and pushing a few pieces on the board around. Between you and me, it says, again, kind of getting a little uncomfortably close and actually draping what feels like a limb across your shoulders. Again, your sensory response shifts between, is that bones? Is that pseudopod? Is that smoke? What is that? But you can't look back and see. Between you and I, there's a bit of a philosophical divide between myself and some of the other members of this domain. I, for one, am perfectly content with staying where we are, but your idea does have its charms and its promises. But others have grown bored or afraid that if we continue playing our little dance with the what is it that you sorts call that? It kind of traces a ring in the air with one finger. That wretched lump of iron. It is clearly referring to the iron dust manufacturing.
I'm sorry, my brain shut down on what he was actually saying. Could I get a brief...
the basic gist of it is that Mandala Crushing Smile is content personally with staying and fucking with the Iron Dust Manufactory, but there are other Fae in this domain that are starting to get bored or afraid. And it trailed off asking you what the name of the place was, and if given the name or anything else to go on, or even just silence of not understanding, it would go on. It would not wait too long. Of explaining that some of its Fae are actually afraid that if they keep doing this role too long with the Iron Dust Manufactory, they may get stuck, and they're starting to get bored and anxious. Well, Smile is like, we still have some fun we can get out of this, but you are presenting a compelling argument.
I'm trying to think of how I want to do this, because this guy has been circling me, and I want to. I'm trying to think of a way to get Milan to talk and walk around him like he's been walking around me, sort of.
Okay, that would be force integrity to basically shift the balance of social and metaphysical power. This is his throne room. This is his domain. He has been able to walk circles around you and basically be, I am the boss of this place. You've accepted we're equals, but I'm boss here. So you're going to have to assert yourself mentally and metaphorically to be like, no, I'm at equals.
Okie dokie. So, what I'm going to do is looking through my charms, see if there's something I could use. Apologies for the dead air. I'm going through my list.
No, it's good. Gives me time to think as well.
I'm just waiting for a Fae to come up from a lower level and go, oh, we drilled too deep, and then everything to go to hell.
We thought we just struck Orthoclase.
Look, man, when you're playing without a tile set, the colors are really similar.
And that's our cue to leave. Goodbye. You have fun with whatever horrible monstrosity you woke up. We're gonna leave now before it gets out of the hole.
I think in this narrative, it would probably be one of the Unshaped, which is, yeah, you would want to run. Like, leave the entire reach and run.
Okay, here's what I've got. I'm going to use the charm Masterful Performance exercise for oration, because I have the skill Orator. Exalted instills her performance with essence, touching the heart of all who hear. For the duration of the performance, anyone who wishes to interrupt or otherwise interfere must accept a hard bargain. In addition, double nines on performance or to the performance or influencing others. Milan is going to start. Just as this guy is going up and down, gave his talk about how he dislikes the Church of Baelor. Milan. All right, so I'm trying to think of how I want this, but the ultimate goal I want is to give him. This is an opportunity to show, hey, here's what happens when we try and go too big for our britches. Essentially, we're turning this into a parody of the Church of Baelor and using this as an opportunity for him to show the rest of his people, nah, look, we should just take what we got. See, look what we just did and how that went.
Yeah, you have it used as a morality play. Yeah. I'll give you a stun for that.
And then I'm going to be going up and down as he was sort of playing with the rules of the wild as it's set right here now.
Yeah.
Okay, that is double 9, so 6 successes.
All right, and that is 6 successes to instill, and it has to take a hard bargain to resist, and it will decline doing so.
Who doesn't love a good parody? Prank war.
The smile actually kind of tilts its head in a kind of, yeah. I have heard so many times that satire is dead, and yet it seems to keep getting up more often than these creatures that you speak of.
Spirit of non-characteristic pedantry overwhelms old man, and he points out that parody and satire are not the same thing. This is a joke.
No, like, even if you did that, it would actually probably just smile in your direction of just like, oh hey, it talks back, how cute.
Please, I'm like partially made of the same stuff you are at this point.
That just makes you more interesting. Which is always a good thing around the Fae.
Oh, no, I just thought of how I'm going to end this speech.
Mhm.
So as he was walking around me and draped his limb onto me, Milan's going to drape one of his mustaches on whatever is comprehensive as a soldier, as a shoulder on this thing.
Yeah. Just to do a tiny bit of wild shaping back so the mustache just kind of gets up and it just actively pauses like, oh shit, the human knows how to do. It knows the moves. It knows how to do the moves. And there is just this sudden, very abrupt shift in this casual invasion of space and the kind of like, yeah, we're equals asterisk. Just constant reinforcement of casual threat and predation and sword-eating authority. And it's just like, oh, you know how to actually do things in here. And it takes a step back and is very obviously like treating you as, okay, actual equal. I'm listening.
Mm-hmm. The mustaches wiggle as eyebrows do.
Impressive, it says, and it doesn't actually sound like it's being a shit. It's actually giving you a compliment.
Speaks fluent governor. Beard stroke and mustache wiggle.
Well, don't allow me to take any more of your time. I believe we have said our pieces. Now, I was curious, is there a little crustacean around here? I have not seen it in quite some time.
The smile turns into a grimace.
Oh dear.
Oh, it's... No, it is an innocent question from a well-meaning new visitor, but apparently you knew of our guest before its arrival, and it is unlikely that you would have known what has occurred since then. I believe it would be best if you saw for yourself. The bedroom's down the hall, furthest one on the right.
I see.
No.
Well,
No, crab friend.
well, such things are how they are. I shall leave you in your court.
Unfortunately. Yes, you... It stops and considers what it is actually going to say. You have done us a service by informing us of this location, and we intend to do you the service back of repaying your kindness.
Oh, goodbye.
Later.
It just kind of waves out as the commoners again just tap their pole arms as you come out.
Oh no, crab friend.
Crab friend.
They said,
Milan just dashes down the hallway.
they said it was the last one on the right?
Yeah, furthest one on the right.
Crab friend.
The date pace after Milan, waiting for the worst.
So as you hit the door, it is latched but not locked, and you just hit the latch and burst the door open. And on the inside, you see a roughly 5-foot tall, what appears to be a crab that has been stretched outward into having the rough approximation of several of its legs now as human legs. Its arms and pincers now are larger and in the position of human arms and hands, although there is no opposable thumbs. And it has the spark in its eyes it didn't have. Oh, fuck me, this thing became a noble.
Hey, I remember you.
Ah, fuck. What are you even doing? How are you even? What? Alright, you're not dead. And Mandala is not running down the hallway to peel you in half.
No, we just had a very nice talk.
What? Okay, wait, hang on. Is the bald one with you? Like the tall bald one with the stick?
Repose? No, he doesn't. He doesn't know you're here.
It actually slumps down onto the bed, like sitting down. Okay. Wow. Okay. There goes my heart. I can breathe again. Woo. All right. What the hell are you doing here?
Oh, just sharing the news about the new neighbors.
What? They put more humans up by the Ring of Swords or something?
Oh no. One of the nasty undead ones like us. Yeah, he set up a whole fortress nearby, sorta.
What undead?
Oh,
What does undead mean?
Milan is actually taking a moment.
Obsidian would point up at the sky and then go, but down there.
That's just more rocks. We know
No. Points at the sky, but down there.
Again, looks up at sky. That's more rocks.
Our sky, not your sky.
Oh! Wait, what? Hold on. No. You got rocks on your side, and it's got...
It makes like a circle with his hand.
Wait, you're telling me that there's, like, a big empty bowl under your rocks? How'd the rocks stay up, then?
Looks at Emma, is this what it's like to talk to me?
What do you mean under the world?
There's an under?
Here we go.
Tutto foio.
Tapaculo.
Milan is just going to give an exaggerated shrug of,
Alright, no, just go back. Undead. Now, like, I have the understanding, because of big, scary Silver Man, you could like, when you fall down and you die, you stay dead.
Old man pulls out the cube.
No,
But
you get that way. Wait, hold on. You wouldn't...
Okay, so imagine you take that,
We didn't collect
and you made another person out of that.
Still be
a different cube.
Okay.
A different rock cube.
Okay.
So imagine you took your friend, the cube, and then you made another person out of that cube.
What sick pervert does things like that?
Right?
Oh!
It's disgusting.
Oh, where are these people? Oh, man, even the weird shapes things. Ugh. Your whole place is all stuck in one thing, and to do that to the dead, lifeless chunks.
It's really gross.
Oh,
They smell real bad sometimes.
oh, why wouldn't they? Oh, Like it is actually like just kind of making retching noises. So, what you're telling me is that you got some like shapes perverts up nearby, and they moved in, and what?
And we convinced Mandela to go prank them real hard.
You did what?
We convinced Mandela to go prank them real hard.
All right, you're gonna have to clarify. Do you mean prank as in violence?
Nodding head.
Oh boy. Well, that means I'm going to be going along for the ride. Thanks for signing me up for that one.
It'll be fun.
Are you sure about that? Because I remember the last time that happened that something introduced me to the concept of what death means. And I can tell you, that wasn't fun.
I can guarantee Silver will not be there.
Are you sure about that?
Yes. Makes a mental note in the back of the head to invite Bismuth Maw to this.
You dick.
To invite Bismuth to this, and if he sees a crab person, they're one of the good ones.
Just point to eyes, point to crab, move on, do not touch crab.
I've known crab since the beginning of this journey. If anything happens to him.
Just kind of rests head against pincers. It's
Wait
a rough.
minute. Hold on.
Yeah, no, the art is good. The art is very good.
Why? Why is there Among Us in it?
Those are the commoners. But like it's just a rough parody. Also, yeah, it's also several NPCs in a trench coat. God damn it. Just a rough parody of like having your head in your hands. It is just kind of resting the pincers against its face, and you know it's not really doing that because it wants to. It knows this is what sadness looks like to the human shapes.
They will
Or
understand
exasperation. Yeah. Bad. All right, so. You mind running past me? You don't have to use all the whatever flirty, weird words that I'm sure that Smile demanded you to. Just talk.
This. Just holds up a finger and goes, I'll spell this out as quickly as possible. So you know what a solar is, right? So like one
Like
of
them,
us.
but way more.
Okay, do you know what the unconquered sun is?
Yeah, no, I know what that thing is.
Okay, so you know how we're a chosen of the earth?
Yeah, you're the chosen of the...
A solar is a chosen of the sun. Now take one of those and make it undead.
Which is gross and nasty.
Why did you sign me up to fight one of those?
The crab immediately vomits in your face.
Like it is a reaction of wanting to vomit, but out of terror. It is just, don't make me go. No, I don't want to go. No. That's the worst thing. Come on, man. What did I ever? Okay, I know what I did to you, but that doesn't deserve this.
Crap, I'm pretty sure the worst thing is if we told Repose what your response to that was.
Wait, hold on. Oh, wait. That guy. He said he fought these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd be there fighting these things, would he? Or would this be an us thing? Like what? Presumably that you're fucking around with Smile here.
In the long run, this is going to be a lot of us thing. This is going to be a joint effort from a lot of parties.
So what you're saying is, if we go fight those things, Baldy will be on my side.
Yes.
For the time being.
Which
Correct.
means that Baldy won't be killing me so long as we do this.
You have an
Correct.
excuse to not be killed.
There's this deep settling of more expression than you thought a carapace could have, as it is just
False.
settling down into a
I'm
frown
well
as
aware
it
of
is.
how. I'm well aware of how much expression a crab can have.
Yes.
You have made false assumptions here.
More so even than that, is the thing.
Impossible.
Crabs can be very expressive. This is even more than expression than was on factory standard crab. What am I? Lifts out one pincer and kind of extends the pincer to open and close it. Shapes pervert. Murderous bald man. Lifts one, lowers the other. Vice versa. Balancing the scales back and forth. Shapes pervert. Bald murderer.
Would it help to know that Bald Murderer has an aunt who's even scarier than he is?
You got a fucked up definition of the word help.
I'm a water aspect. It's what we do.
I have no idea what that means, but I'm gonna take your word for it. Anyway, considering that I actually don't really have a say in the matter, because I'm mostly... So, honestly, this is your damn fault to begin with. It actually steps up and walks up past, remind me if I'm correct, was it Milan, Obsidian, or both who advocated for not murdering the crab?
I think Obsidian advocated for not murdering the crab.
Yeah, I think Obsidian was the most vocal advocate.
Stand by.
Mhm.
The stream is down.
Stream blew up.
Snapped.
Yep. Yep.
I'd say
Let the
keep going
record
with the
know.
scene. The recording is still going. This is just a
Okay.
Twitch thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sure. I was hoping it would be able to pop up in the 30 seconds, but if it's not going to, then...
Okay,
well,
quick. While this is down, I need to draw everyone a crab version of our characters.
I do
Come
like
back,
the
something
I
awful
do
has
like
happened.
the idea that people are pointing out that Crab was so afraid of the concept of ass
Crab directly snipped the wires.
just reached out and cut an Ethernet cable. It was just like, nah, I'm not thinking about that. Fuck you. No.
All right, I have an ad from
Oh,
my
yep,
side of
we're
the
back.
view, so we should be back up in about,
Yeah,
give or take 20
or so.
seconds.
Yep, bits are being sent. The data.
So yeah, no. To catch up for the live audience, Crab has stepped up to Obsidian and is poking in, like, with the point of the pincer in Obsidian's chest. This is your fault. Like, all of this, like, gestures to its roughly human shape. What, you convinced Baldy to keep me alive, which, thank you, by the way. But then, y'all got me here, and then they brought me down here, and at first they were treating me like some sort of court jester or pet or something like that. But then I started talking about what had happened, like, you know, with the silver guy, with the teeth, and then all of you. And then all of the weirdos around here started getting more interested in me than the smiling guy and the other guys he knows. And that pissed them off. But it was, like, a little late for that because all of a sudden I started realizing I could actually, like, say things and think things. And I was kind of growing legs like that. Like, I can't walk like I used to anymore. It actually kind of steps back and forth on the pillared legs of the fused together crab legs. I'm walking like you do now.
Oh my god, this... Oh, we could... Okay, come here. So,
What?
we convinced him to do this as a sort of parody, mock of the Church of Valor thing. That's how we convinced him. So this could be your opportunity for get yourself out ahead.
Go on.
What if Mandela crushing smile becomes the subject of the parody in this story?
All right, I'm liking how you're thinking. I'm liking how you're thinking. Where are we going with this? Where are we going with this?
Okay, how out of character? How do we want to set up this prank for unseating Mandela, crushing Spawn, putting Crab in the chair?
I have a great idea. Out of character. What does my idea help?
Crab
Yes.
Fort.
Good
Crab
idea.
Fort.
We are going to put Crab in the place of power.
Blood throne room with water. That's a smart way to do it.
Look, if the crab keeps gaining status in ways that means that Crab owes us favors, then
Okay, I got
It
it.
explicitly is only a noble because number one, you saved its life, and number two, it was the story of your exploits and of Bismuth's exploits that got the attention of the nobles and the commoners to give it enough of a sense of self and narrative importance to promote it to nobility. It was just a hob before it started talking about you, and then it was enough of an important character in the narrative to be promoted.
Okay, so here's an idea I'm starting to form. Since we're sending out the Fae to go fight the God, not the, is it Abyssal or yeah, Abyssal. We're leaving the ironworks completely open and uninvolved. So what if we loop Crab into their raid on this Fae pocket? What if Crab does a traitor?
Benedict Crabnold.
No, I don't like it. It's got a bad mouthfeel.
There's
I'm-
something.
Yeah, I'm trying to come up just with an idea of, okay, how can
Oh no, not your plan.
Yeah.
The name. The name.
Yes. I'm coming up with ideas just as I'm going and spouting them out.
Somebody says out loud, Benedict Crab. I'm like, no.
We'll
Keep that one in your
workshop
brain.
that.
Or we chop that one later.
Look, so while he's taking all the commoners out to go do a war, he's going to be leaving those ironworks people open and ignored, and they can do a move.
And you promised they wouldn't murder me.
Yes.
All right. I'm not obligated to ask this, but I feel like I really should for the sake of my own health. You know what promising things to me means now, yes?
He
The
is so
silence
fat.
is in character.
Yeah.
The silence is in character.
You are now mystically obligated to make sure that the Iron Dust people do not lay a finger on the crab.
Yes. I say resentfully, realizing, shoot, yeah. I did just promise that.
You sure did win aspect this one, buddy.
Yeah, I did.
You're too close to the sun.
Okay, well, we'll make sure that the Ironworks people don't kill you.
We? No. That is out of character, by the way. Angler is just nodding. Yeah, sure.
I mean, the easiest way to do this is just tell them that there is some sort of crab spirit down there that they kidnapped.
And yeah, for anyone who perhaps did not see, so
that-
we're looking at Sroth.
Yeah,
Sroth.
the actual
Sroth.
way I typed that name is Sroth. That is, it looks like crab until you look closer, at which point it is Sroth. That is, true name of crab is Sroth.
You can't just reveal that you have revealed the true name of crabs. That is incredibly.
That's the true name of this
incredibly
crab.
rude. Are you sure it's not the true name of all crabs?
Yes, because if I revealed it and it was the true name of all crabs, I would immediately have had my throat torn out by a crab that just jumped out from behind my monitor.
Correct.
That is there at all
He would have
times.
been assassinated, yeah.
You would have heard me die a horrible gurgling death.
there is no unifying name of all crabs, because each crab is individually evolved from an entirely unique background.
Each crab individually was once an entire species.
Each crab logarithmically approaches the concept of a true name of crab, which is a non-existent thing that people made up to explain the shape of crab.
You see that crab right there? That used to be the Neanderthals. Now it is that crab.
Each crab is personalized.
No species ever goes extinct. They simply move on to crab. Anyway.
Okay. Let's end this scene before Milan makes more horrible promises for the future.
Correct.
I'm honestly astounded that you went this long with me actively trying to lay you traps, and it took you this long for one to spring.
I mean, it wouldn't be a Milan scene unless this happened.
Right?
At least it was one of the most inoffensively and non-dangerous ones you could have stepped on.
And it's only the promise that the Ironworks people don't kill Krath.
Yeah, Srath.
You could
will
kill
be
him
fine.
right now, and it would not violate that.
Yeah, you didn't actually promise anything. It's them. But
see,
Also-
I don't want to kill crab.
Same?
I might.
But
We'll see
why?
how this plays out.
That's why it's very important that two members of the team are not here for any contracts you might enter into.
Look, if he's the Quasarok, I gotta kill him.
Okay, let's get out of here before Milan has to write up even more of a report to propose of everything that happened.
Obsidian and Angler both just peek in the room, grab Milan by one shoulder.
Yeah,
and
they
say,
just
"Alright,
hear
we're
the
done."
awkward silence and Milan's eyes unfocusing, and they just grab by the shoulder and pull out.
Nice to see you again. Bye.
The wisdom of the air aspects. I'm a genius! Oh no!
Oh
Ah, shit.
no! I'm doing so many cool things! Did you realize the not cool thing you did? The what?
And that's
Good things outweigh the one mildly bad thing. It's fine.
and that's why you have the hearth around with you, Air Aspects. You need someone to be the crook to pull you off stage.
You make the robot that screams, and someone has to ask why.
Yeah, I was just struck with very sudden inspiration earlier this afternoon of, wait a minute, I know exactly what to do with the Fae scene, and I threw out all of my prior plans, and I did the Dwarf Fortress angle.
See, leading into inspiration is rarely the wrong idea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just gonna throw an embassy roll for the awkward off-screen explanation of, okay, there's this weird crab. Can I ask you all not to kill it? I am legally obligated to ask you not to kill the weird crab. That is it.
It's like a guardian deity or some shit.
Look, we are...
Okay, can I, because I've got 7 successes, can I convince them of the identity of no, this crab is good and help? It's a good crab.
The best you're going to get for a bunch of people who have been living in fear and détente of the Fae is that one in particular is harmless unless provoked.
Okay.
Like, they are not going to go, oh, that's a friend. That is, okay. That is a already fed lion that has no interest in human meat.
Crab is low threat. Understood.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I am-
for what it's worth, they're right. That's
Yes.
how it works with Faye, so...
Yes. That is,
Crab could
again,
someday find the
y'all
inspiration
took
to
an
become
incredibly,
dangerous.
incredibly fucking big risk doing this, and if you were not Essence 4 Dragonbloods with charms to not get wild mutated, and constantly on your guard in those conversations, that could have gone a lot worse. But
What?
you were.
No.
Oh, whoa, hold up 1 sec. Wiggles my mustache. Okay, good. That's not an appendage now. Good. All right, we made it out.
Yeah, no,
Not
you-
yet. It can sometimes take a while for it to manifest.
We had
Really
charms
did-
in place.
Really didn't need to hear that. Don't want to
It's
think
not
about
that bad, as old man wiggles again.
For the first time in Milan's life, Milan is considering shaving.
Why does that hurt?
Father, why do you forsake me? The mustache says.
You could just shave your head and not the mustache. That
Darren, thank you for letting me do the incredibly risky and very stupid idea.
I will always let my players do that, as long as they are aware that I will absolutely put down a few bear traps, because I mean it when I say something is risky.
I was asking for the rope, and thank you for providing it.
Anytime.
I shall now go make this rope bridge.
Alright, so the geomancy pre-setup is done, the temple scene is done, the Fae setup is done. Let us check where that would put that on the calendar. Okay, so... Alright, it is now the middle of Resplendent Wood. It is roughly 1, 2, 3, 4. It is roughly 4 months before calibration. To give you an idea of how much time is left before the seasons have the end. So, the state of things right now is that all of the ley lines have been arranged into their positions as necessary. The discussions and deliberation is still going on in the vigil, as well as the discovery that maybe a plurality, not an immense amount, but certainly enough to notice, of the ghosts, upon learning that Soul had personally endorsed the existence of the ancestor cult, were just like, that's my unfinished business taken care of, peace, and went back to the cycle of reincarnation. They were like, oh, y'all got this then. I basically am going to take the rest that I've been putting off, because now I know that this is going to be going on in perpetuity, because the boss approves of this, and I need a break.
They will be missed. They will be remembered.
I'm going to go take a vacation and go back, get myself reincarnated, and have spend another life as a person.
I'm gonna go farm. Fuck this. Later.
Yeah, a lot, like, most of the
Engaged.
really engaged and entrenched and ideologically committed members of the family are still around. It's the ones who were just getting really old and tired, or had only been kind of hanging on out of, vague obligation, saw it and were just like, oh, thank God, an excuse that is actually, like, ironclad for me to just go back with the flow.
We did it. Got there. Yeah.
Yes. And there's also probably a fair bit of them that just were overcome enough in the emotional excitement of it that they just kind of lost the grip on not resisting Leaf. They just were just like, I'm good, actually. I can't think of a moment I'm ever going to be happier than this. And whoop, that's how you get to the reincarnation cycle, is when you lose all attachments again. So...
Things working as they should.
That leaves the preparations for the Iron Dust are done. Talking to the Fae is done.
That brings us to, like, deciding what we will do next to turn up the pressure, or perhaps get on the attack.
Yeah. If if you want to wait, or if you want to try dialing up pressure
ideas
again.
For other stuff to do while all of that simmers.
Mm-hmm.
Which, as far as just scene setting, character filler that might get conversation started. So, after an appropriate amount of, back and forth dramatic time of all this travel and discussion and events happening and processing, I figure the team will have its opportunity to group back up.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. You would probably group up in the rough area of the triangulated zone, if not on top of it, out of convenience, but you could honestly reconvene anywhere you want to be at this point.
Provide the report of what happened in the Feywilds. Present my face to be slapped.
So, first, flashback many years to a to a grove of palms that the vigil maintains on their property as a thing they have done. They have brought with them from the old country, everywhere that they have settled down. Just a usual day at the vigil, and there's a cat that is loafing smugly at the very top of one of the trees, and there is a young lad who has climbed most of the way up the tree and just kind of locked up on having a moment of, oh my, I'm very high up. Oh no, help. Help, what do? And a bit of the beginnings of a commotion of, oh no, child in tree. Until the abbess just kind of walks out, appraises the situation, gives a very light sigh, and then with a little, firecracker pop, zoops up into the air, slowly drifts down, procures Cat off top of tree, floats down a little further, places Cat on little Sam, who's being a rascal and getting up to nonsense again. Then coaches Sam into climbing back down the tree. This is just the kind of thing that happens, but this so happens to be the first time that little Sam has ever seen the abbess do something really flagrantly magical. Of the idea of, she's special, she's a dragon, was always known, but this is the first oh, that's rad.
Oh wow, that's actual dragon.
This launches young Sam's increasingly intense and serious interest in athleticism and performance. Going fast, climbing stuff, but more successfully this time. I was just thinking about, what if I could fly? So of course, after he does finally exalt and takes on his name, one of the things that reposes after in his training is, okay, I want to fly. And over the years, there are many, many failed attempts to teach Repose how to fly. Increasing frustration building over, well, this is easy for me. Why doesn't this work for you? How do we, come on, just do the thing. Eventually making its way up to the present day, where, with recent good vibes established by things going very well, the idea comes back up. And that also, with Repose's recent adventuring and meeting of new people and seeing more fire aspects and their attitudes, and more of everyone, Repose has gotten a greatly enhanced appreciation for and understanding of how the phases are expressed through people. And it has finally clicked into him that his whole education and training, there were times that things went very, very well and smoothly, and then other things that were just weirdly persistent walls that refused to budge. And he can finally connect all of this together that, some of these were times when we were resident in our attitudes and agreed with each other, and other times were when there were gaps. You tried all the things that made sense to you, and then when they didn't work, well, we were both out of ideas. Because all of my ideas I learned from you.
Mm-hmm.
And also that since then, Repose has made attempts to help other people learn magic, and has felt all of those same frustrations of suddenly being faced with panic and difficulty over something he thought wasn't a big deal.
Wait, it works
But
for
other
me,
people
though.
need to learn tricks in order to do that. Well, just brace. Why are you falling down? Stand up.
What do you mean you don't know how to just put your legs like that?
And their last failed attempt at teaching flight started from the position of, alright, what if you treat it like swimming? And this went poorly. But, as he takes a moment to have thought about, that's a step in the right direction. And probably makes a point of skipping a rock across pond at the monastery.
Mm-hmm.
Rocks can move through water. They can move on water, but they don't do it by floating. They do it by properly directing their force to grip the water, to make the water act solid. And then from there, they just start brainstorming, all right, how do you fly like a stone? And just suddenly start thinking a lot more about aerodynamics than either of them had before. And so, culmination of that, yeah, I've purchased Eagle Wing style, soaring Zephyr flight. So when Repose makes his way back to the group, people are able to, like, look out to the horizon, as we're probably used to doing, because there are several other people in the group who have ways to fly. And you just see this kind of low-flying object steadily cruising along, occasionally, like, dipping down a little bit and then popping back up. Just moving at a very steady speed, but low altitude, and as it gets closer, you see that it is Repose, like, surfing on the back of his sign through the air. Just using it as an airfoil and cruising.
I had this mental image of just a shot of Repose off-screen skipping a stone over the pond. You see it skip across the water. And then you see Repose lying flat, being thrown fast, skipping across the water.
And anyone... That was probably part of the process. All right, well, throw me. How do I fly?
As I was like, what?
Launch me.
Okay. If you're gonna ask for it for once.
And anyone who, like, opens the special eyes can see that he has, like, spread his anima out much wider than his body and is, like, directing this column of air down and just, like, ground effect. Generating lift by pressing into the ground and having it press back up through the air. As he closes in and comes to a stop, like, there's the shock wave that would have come from an impact with the ground in advance of him arriving, and then he just kind of slows to a stop and steps down.
You are bullying the air into carrying you.
No, hold still. I stand here.
So yeah, just
kind of lands, dusts himself off.
Moat pops out from a backpack behind Repose, just kind of saucer-eyed, like, I've seen some shit.
Oh.
Bald man bird? Am I a bird?
What are birds?
Help.
Repose. Where's Yang?
I thought he was with you.
Oh no.
Yang is somewhere in the wilderness.
Yang is, actually, hang on.
Repose wanted to show off flying so much, he just ditched Yang.
Okay, so...
How does wood fly?
Just a smash cut after the triumphant landing and the check-in of, hey, where's Yang? Smash cut to Yang in the wooded hills to the north of the triangulation area. Just kind of looking around, rooting around for herbs and stuff. Just give me 1 second. So he's just generally vibing, just looking around, trying to find stuff, and just kind of gets a sudden moment of a tingling at the back of the skull. As there is an absolute certainty, 1000% certainty, that he's being watched.
Man, I don't want to deal with this today. I just want to fucking gather Yara. I'm gonna turn around and scan the tree line.
Finesse awareness. At first, you don't really see it because of the sunbeams coming through the trees in the area. And then the sunbeams change, and the shape comes back into view of that strange little demon that had gone missing after the Infernal's death. That was the guy Gixa. the shape-shifting little Gerblin beast
Hi,
is
buddy.
just lurking in the tree line watching you.
Yo, what up, dude?
Friend Yang! Friend Yang?
Yeah, Freddy.
Is... Yes. As it scuttles forward to see you. Friend Yang, good to see you again. Friend Yang was with large, intimidating Catman.
Yeah.
Made difficult for.
Hey, you want to help me for a bit, real quick? And I throw like a horse pack around him and start just stuffing herbs in it.
Yes. This help? Is this help? Is
Yeah,
this how help?
Just be vaguely mule shaped. Anyways, let's walk and talk.
Mule? Mule is Oh, yes. Thing I pranked. Thing pranked. Yes. And well, I'm going to make an extremely specific joke. I'm going to make a very specific joke for people who have only played Son of the Skies. You know how they refer to the donkeys and the mules in that one part of the game as mules, and so long as you don't look too closely, it fits that correction. Yeah, that's the gist of what the guy gets the shapes itself into. That's a mule. That's a mule.
That's small horse.
You know what? Yeah.
Mules
Yeah,
have
dude.
mules have eggs and mucosal membranes, right? Yeah, that sounds right.
You're killing it.
So it just kind of scuttles alongside you as you are collecting herbs. What is friend Yang plucking the floor hair?
This is called foraging. We do this to, I like to think of it as stealing from nature. I use this to make oils and shit.
You stealing from... It kind of looks around, pokes the ground, looks around again. Is agreement with Cecilin?
Maybe. If you see any, Actually, yeah, you'd be a good look at. Let me know if you see anyone coming, then we got a bolt.
Yes. I watch for eyes. I watch for eyes of Horribilis.
Yeah. You're picking up real fast. You're a quick learner.
Just kind
I
of...
specifically go out on private land specifically to go do my harvesting as opposed to any public land
Honestly,
stuff.
probably yes.
Yeah,
actually.
probably.
Yang probably just fucking, thieves from, nobles who just have, shit growing that they're not letting anyone use.
Yeah, not from, landsteaders or anything, but, like estates. Specifically goes and finds an estate and then goes and steals their excess herbs. But the guy gets, as the lookout is going, very quickly, about, maybe 30 seconds to 2 minutes later, is very much in the mindset of, I'm on the lookout, but I can still talk, right? That's fine. And it immediately starts talking again. Right, yes. Discussion, yes. Question.
Shoot.
Statement, yes. Yang friends? Other Earth. Earth? Kind of taps ground. Creation.
The other
Gaia
dragon.
shapes. Gaia children.
Gaia shapes. Yeah.
Yes. All others, have been altering flow of. It pauses again. Gaia blood? Gaia juice?
We've been moving the veins around a little bit.
Yes. Vane with it actually pauses again and takes a look around. Vane with presence of Reshnak have noticed. Yes.
Out of character, what's he trying to tell Yang right now?
This is probably a fortitude integrity. Is there? I don't know what a good memory in character roll would be.
Actually, Yang has a charm for this. Yeah, Yang.
Oh yeah, you have eidetic memory. Yeah, you would just turn on eidetic memory, and yeah, Reshnak was the name of the second circle demon in the swamp.
And And yeah, we did find that one of the lines coming into this area is a little tainted with the swamp stank.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the corrupted vein is what he's talking about.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I'll just relay that. Like, yes, the corrupted vein. What about it?
But where is Reshnok Resonance going?
That's a fantastic question, friend. Do you have any theories?
I ask question because I do not know.
Well,
Why ask?
alright.
Why else ask question?
It's
Now
science.
you're
stuff.
asking the right questions.
Now you're asking the right questions, little buddy.
There are right
Fuck.
questions?
Well, there are.
Depending on who you ask.
Depending on who you ask, yes, sure. What do I even tell this fucking crap about this? Because Purple's dead, so
Purple
Green
is
is dead.
Green's dead.
Purple has gone to ground, and also you know that this thing has basically no loyalty beyond you, vaguely, and whatever it thinks is funny.
Invite the crab in, not the crab. Invite the demon in on the prank.
That's right. Let's get more anathema in on this. Fuck yeah!
Pile every kind of anathema you could think of into a hole and hope something happens.
Cheers, bro.
Like, actually, though. Let's go for it. Let's do it.
Okay, so I used a saddle pack, right?
Yes.
So I'm just gonna hop on him and point to the direction of the meeting spot, and I'll see if I can get you a job. Is the exact word I'm gonna use.
Is job.
Let's find you a calling, little man.
Is work for Reshnok?
Sure. Let's go have a good time.
Reshnok and Hove. How work for Reshnok?
Son, are you confusing it?
I need to go find Repose.
Repose. Oh, Catman. Catman. It just kind of scuttles backwards a little bit. Why find Catman?
Why find Catman? It's a good question. A lot of people ask that.
A lot of people
Mostly
ask
'cause
why
of-
find Catman, but not who find Cat.
Are you scared of Catman? I don't think you should be. I think he would actually quite like to. Well, no, Milan would probably. Well, I'm not sure how to take this scene.
Every being of darkness that exists should, in fact, be afraid of Repose.
Yeah, if there is anything in the universe that should be afraid of Repose, it is a demon of the Ebon Dragon.
I'm gonna distract him by showing him how to roll a blunt. I'm gonna teach him how to roll one. I'm just gonna change the subject because I don't want to deal with this right now.
Finesse, navigate with a stunt.
And I'm just gonna I'm gonna find more excuse upon excuse while we just sort of travel slowly towards the hearth.
Okay, so take paper, yes?
You put this herb on it.
Yes. Put
Uh-huh.
put floor shavings on paper.
You need more hands. You have to have 2 hands to do this. Grow one more.
Oh, yes, 2.
All right.
2?
And so on and so.
Yeah. And it is okay. Then roll. It flips it upside down, rolling it through the air, and it lands on the ground.
That is a very. What do you call that technique? You're the first person I've ever seen do it like that, and I don't know if it's wrong. So I'm just gonna say this is an advanced technique you've invented. You get to name it. What do you call that, buddy?
Asking demons to be creative is hard.
That is the exact realization you have as you are staring and you are realizing this is maybe the first time you have ever anything has ever asked this demon's opinion on what something should be called or what it thinks of something creatively, and it is just blue screening.
And at no point will I prod it to stop this thought process as we're walking towards repose.
Silence has begun for the rest of the conversation.
Yeah, like it is a good hour as it is still walking and is just visibly blue screened as it is thinking before you make it back to the camp. Where the rest of the crew sees Yang walking out with, oh, that's the guy Hixa next to Yang, of course. And of course Yang put saddlebags on it. What is that full of?
Of course it's covered in weed. Of course.
Yeah, actually, it's probably got like several blunts impaled on appendages that it forgot were there, but is now stuck to the body.
You are so close. You are going to be a champion of this. Oh, thank God we're there. Hey, repose.
Zoops on over.
I brought you a friend.
Unpleasant.
Friend roll. I call it friend roll. That is
Nice.
That is the name I got. It immediately hides behind Yang.
Well, the friend roll is very good. I say, patting it on the head.
So that's still here.
Yeah, I don't really want to. Is there a peaceful way to? What's the most ethical way to deal with this?
Well, that depends on what you mean involve ethics and demons together.
Yeah, the response to that is just kind of the sigh that at this point Yang has learned means like, all right, how many years
so while he's saying
of scholarship do you want to commit
ethical,
to?
he is mimicking like you punching through the torso and tearing it in half while like raising eyebrows.
Typically, yes.
Do you want a little demon?
Milan's going to zoop in. Hey, buddy, you wanna in on a prank we're doing?
Prank?
Yeah. Okay, so do you remember Green's friend Purple?
Sort of.
Okay,
It's hard shape to remember.
we're pranking him.
Ooh, yes.
Okay, so
Wait, are we? I thought this was.
so here's the prank. So I've gone
Obsidian
and
has lost the.
That's an in-character problem.
Okay, so I have gone down south where there's Fae. You know what Fae are? The things from
Oh, yes, outside.
yeah. So I've convinced them to go attack him. Do you want in on pranking them?
Prank? Faye?
Yes.
How prank? Yes.
This is a conversation while I'm trying to like explain.
Well, you are trying to intercept Repose from pulling out its skeleton.
The fucking...
I am deliberately trying to throw as many anathema and messes into this pile to
You are trying to make a garbage fire visible from heaven.
and then we will send in the Immaculate Order and the monks and priests and to clean up the remains.
And then the gorillas will die in the winter.
Exactly.
The gorillas will freeze in calibration.
Well, Yang.
I just figured there's gotta be oh no, he's lying to it.
So in the background of this conversation, Milan is coming up with some stupid idea of, okay, here's how we can prank the Fae.
Alright, so Repose like puts down the altar and just like throws a tarp over it. As just kind of the like wandering field priest equivalent of, all right, we go into the back room and I will close the curtain. The sky can see this, but the sky sees everything. It's fine. Has that told you a name?
I forgot out of character.
It has not. You gave it a name that I forgot because it was an off-the-cuff, very goofy name.
Well, the follow-up there is also, have you offered it a name that it has accepted?
Oh, accepted, maybe, I don't know. I call him, it's up, I gotta give it a name and it's up to me to give it one, huh? I'm gonna go with Freddy.
Yeah, Freddy.
Yeah, Freddy.
Freddy.
Now, and like, there's a lot of glancing back at the tarp of like, I hate doing, I actually don't like doing the crime part of being a crime priest. These are the heresies that aren't the ones I'm proud of. If one is to consider the overall ranking of beings of the pit, in terms of the severity of offense they grant to the world and all those living in it, that is largely harmless. So long as it is called forth in controlled circumstances and under appropriate supervision by one who well understands its inclinations and natures, which it seems you have picked up reasonably well in your interactions with it. For such a case, as we are in the position that we in, surrounded by those who are, we can afford the luxury of banishment. We send it back to the Inferno. It will fend for itself in its home world as best it can, and should the need ever arise, it could be called back.
Well, you know what they say. If you love it, let it go.
They do say that.
So do we stab it? Or do you just like...
No, the sorcery
Say a
involved
thing.
to
okay,
unsummon it.
So you do the orb thing?
To formally...
Meanwhile, Milan and the demon are talking about the logistics of digging a very deep pit.
Or if we are... It would appear that one of our sorcerers is already in the process of negotiating with it. I don't practice that branch of the arts myself, so perhaps it may not be the case, but I'm under the impression that...
Milan is trying to rope it in on Fey crime.
Under the impression that if it is not current, if its previous bond that it was summoned under has released, seeing as its previous summoner was... didn't summon it by the conventional method. What sort of bind with it? Repose is now academically interested in what the fuck this thing's situation is.
Still around.
Yeah, finesse or fortitude sagacity for actually,
because
what the hell
infernal
is
summoning
the
is different. That's fucking weird.
So Yang came to Repose because like, wait, shouldn't you be dead? Is Green still here? I should talk to Repose about this. That's the main logical through line here.
7 of think about.
Yeah, if this was a the closest thing you can think of by how many demons this infernal could whip out and how none grasp of sorcery he seemed to have until he stole someone else's form that had sorcery. There must be some innate way of... Repose would be familiar with the fact that there are clauses in the imprisonment of demons in Malthaeus that allow demons to slip through the cracks, and smaller demons have an easier time of doing this. It is possible that it was in his power to cheat those clauses and artificially fulfill them and have that count as a summoning, which would mean the demon just shows up and doesn't have a binding. It doesn't have a job, and it doesn't have an expiration date. That would be innately very dangerous, because then you have a demon that doesn't have to listen to you, but considering he was some sort of infernal version of a solar, he probably could make them listen.
When the ape appeared at Fallen River, there was a cry that set it free. That's the trick.
Cry? Like with tears or like a chant?
Scream.
Like of an ape, enraged.
Yeah, the trick for blood apes in particular is if they
Is that-
scream at a very, very specific pitch, another blood ape gets out of
Blood
hell.
apes can summon other blood apes.
Mm-hmm. The
Under the
actual
right
way that
circumstances.
the actual way they usually make that noise is if they're being tortured or dying.
Yes.
So, and where the next street?
All right, so yeah, and then the idea firmly clicks in that also now that he can frame this internally as doing research into new occult practices, like, okay, yes, now I need to study the enemy so I can write this down. So yeah, proposal just kind of shuffle on over to Milan.
So you say deep hole, possibly go down all the way to this dark place.
No. We just need it. We just need it to be deep enough that when they fall, they break their
It
legs.
has recoiled all the way into the ground behind you, and you know without turning around. Oh, that's Repose.
Repose. Hey, what if we just keep roping in more of the enemies of creation into punching each other, and then we just clean up the mess afterwards?
For as many times as I have said that I would wish that all the enemies of the world had been swept into a nice even pile so they could all be burned at once, I do not mean this in the most direct sense.
Please don't.
There is
actually
a
do that,
limit.
brother.
Well, I mean, the other option is we just get them all into a giant pile and then fire the sword of creation at them.
That is what it's for.
that one was targeted at you, Darren.
I'm fine.
How many times would we fire the sword of creation at them, though?
Only once.
Only the ones? We're not.
They're a
make
very
sure?
big pile.
Okay.
Now, and like, Rose just like briefly like half looks around Milan, just one eye exposed. If I did not permit your presence, you would not be here. Carry on, and then allows
Yes.
Freddy to just be back in protective shadow, out of line of sight.
Yes, understood. Humbly accepted. Thank you. Yes.
Milan, I would like you to attempt to summon that.
Isn't it? Wait, hold on.
If my read on what we have seen of the abilities of our late adversary, said in this tone that you know from Repose means I'm very sure that this is the case, but I still get it. I could be wrong.
99.9999 is not 100.
The thing behind you is not presently bound to any sorcerer's contract. It has simply arrived at us by other means. And
Just gonna.
you've clearly also joined with Yang in the idea that there's still use that can be had with its presence, and if I did not trust you to practice these arts in my presence, then you would no longer be in my presence.
Nodding my head.
So, if you have a plan for how this can be put to use, then formalize it.
Claps hands together. Okay, you little buddy.
Yes.
All right. Do you want to get paid? Do you want? Let's get you a job.
It looks completely uncomprehending of the concept.
Okay, Milan is going to attempt to summon this specific demon right in front of him.
Alright, so that would be a fast forward slightly into the time of night where you can do that, but this just narrative time passes, and roll me Force Sagacity, just to see, there is specifically something that'll happen.
There is that, in fact, weird thing in my brain of how I learned how to summon demons.
There is a brief moment where, as you are drawing the circle, there's this kind of gut twitch of this doesn't feel like this is normal, and this is not how it should normally go. And you can almost see sympathetically the Gygaxa have its entire body just kind of like distort similarly in the same moment. Just like, oh, as you briefly realize the terms of summoning in sorcery, in advanced sorceress occult theory, and are an extrapolation of the surrender terms of the Yozi to the Incarna, to the current rulers of creation. As part of the sorry, I'm currently dealing with a cat coiling me all over me.
Yes, you do.
I am petting her before anybody says. But yeah, the surrender terms were basically, we know we have to deal with you at some point. We can't just have you canned in that forever, because if you get up to all sorts of shit outside of our sight, we don't know what. So we have to have some mediated way of getting in and out. That means that sorcery, there's a lot of theories as to how sorcery got involved in creation, how it spread, why demons are so innately tied to it. There's a lot of arguments and schools of thought and things like that. But one thing they all agree on is that summoning runs on the surrender terms, which generally presume that a demon, when summoned, is in Malpheus, not creation. You are invoking the terms of surrender when the demon is standing right next to you. By all measures of how sorcery should work, nothing should happen because you are dialing a phone that doesn't have anyone on the other end of the line because they're not there. And yet, when you do this, there is just this brief hitch, mystically, that you can feel, as there is just like a... It is an edge case that the error that has been caught and is being processed, and you like kind of physically have to grab the spell and shove it through the summoning circle to make it go, no, really, I don't care what error you're throwing at me, do what I tell you. And all of a sudden, the Gygaxa is inside the summoning circle.
Well, that was strange.
The Gygaxa looks around. I do not Where was 5 days of Cecil? I should have crossed the desert. I didn't receive the call. Why am I in... Wait. If I was there, and I am here, and I am in Circle, and you are Sorcerer, and this is Invocation, and I did not cross desert, and have to cross desert to leave Malpheus, that means I've been...
Reassuring hand on the shoulder.
Where? You putting it where? On what shoulder? It's over there now.
Milan's hand is constantly moving around as the shoulder
Just
shifts.
hover the reassuring hand and wait for his shoulder to approach it.
Yep.
Ah, buddy. See, this is what... Aw, man. Come here, buddy. Bring it in.
It is
It's
inside
okay.
the summoning circle. It literally cannot come to you.
You gave the demon depression.
It is less depression and more existential crushing terror that, oh wait, I haven't been in Malpheus this whole time. All the confusing things are because I'm not in Malpheus. And I have not been.
I'm sorry. Once this is all over, you can get.
We can get you home. Don't worry. Don't worry.
We can have things go back to making sense for you.
Finally, a return to endless torment, pain, and terror.
But the kind
I've
I
had
understand.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, has anybody asked where the demon wants to go?
No, just kind of fucking with it the entire time.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I
the pit.
assumed it had an agenda, but no.
So obviously the pit idea is not going to work. So
Hey, buddy. Obsidian comes over and says, "By the demon, where do you want to be right now?"
In character silence. 1 second.
Everybody thinks of how do I summon the demon, but not where does demon want to be? Where does the demon want to be summoned to?
Calling forth demons from the pits of hell to just be like, hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
I
You
pulled
okay?
the
How do you
power.
talk?
I pulled the power drill out of my toolbox and asked, "How are you feeling today? How do you feel about the screw I'm going to tighten?"
There is a visible physical effort, as in you can see the body contorting as it is thinking in literal waves of thought. Where do I... What? And is... I choose, not summoner?
Nodding my head.
Then... Is not choice, is not something I as considered. Where
Obsidian is just nodding along to all this, like, yes, good.
where is places? Where is places?
Well,
There is home, and there is not home.
Yeah, there's adventure. Or home.
home is where you want it to be.
Y'all are being
That-
awfully friendly with this demon.
That just kind of washes clean off the demon, just like, no.
I want to
Like-
see where this goes.
No. Home is Malpheus. Home is where Creator is. Home is prison. We is in prison. We lived there for surrender. We agree.
Ugh. It's only if you let it be.
No matter what happens, it's
That
always
there's
prison,
another
unfortunately.
uncomprehending stare in Yang's direction of just like you are speaking to a tiny slice of the Ebon Dragon's soul, which is the Yozi that refuses to accept the imprisonment and fights
Supposed to
against
just
it with
wanna
all of
reach
his
for
power
knuckles.
and can't get out. So you are literally talking.
Yeah,
The gang convinces the Ebon Dragon it doesn't have to be this way.
No, like
Proposal
it
kinda
already
draw
agrees with
Yang
you.
back a little to whispering range of, yes, Yang, they were involved in making our world, and you know how well that has turned out. It could be within the power of beings such as they to make their own world that is pleasant, tranquil, and harmonious, and they have had all of history to make their world as they want it.
That is a actually very critical thing to understand is Malpheus is exactly the way the Yozi want it to be, because they can't conceive of it being anything else.
We tossed them from their thrones and set them aside. They took that place and made it hell.
No, it's quite comfy for them,
No!
right? Because that's why you would, make it that way.
What is comfort?
Like a chair. You really put cushy chair.
There is a
Chair.
sudden, very uncomfortable.
Yang.
Like, there is a sudden, viscerally fixed stare from the demon as it looks at Yang. Killing was comfortable, yes?
Yeah, it was. I'm still trying to train out of that one. It's like, rote routine.
I
It's worth it though,
believe
because there's other ways.
I believe Catman's point is this. Yes.
Yeah, do you remember the wood talk? Do you remember how you felt during the more heated portions of the wood talk?
I did pick up a chair at one point. I won't say that didn't happen.
Just kind of hang on that, just like waving your hands a little bit. Nah. Stuff
maybe-
complicated? Answers to seemingly simple questions difficult?
I mean, yeah, it's a pretty fucked up story, but what are we gonna do about the goblin in front of us?
Well,
You have given the Gygax several deep, like bone rattling existential questions to process in a row, and it is just sort of staring into space at this
Oh,
point.
it's
You were the one interested in evolving it. What do you need it for?
I was thinking about just like sending it as an assassin against the Fae.
would it have a good time doing that?
Shrug.
It would probably get annihilated pretty quickly. This is
Would it
a
have a
weak
good time
demon. And the
being
Fae can be very
annihilated? Do they
powerful.
like dying and being dead?
Like, this is a very weak demon, and the fairies can be
Good point.
dangerous, wildly dangerous. So
Yeah, like you could
Yep.
you could say I can tell you from the face to face you had with the smile. The smile was on your level. The smile probably
Yeah.
could have killed you in a straight fight. This
And-
guy has no chance.
All right, so propose.
this is a tiny
successfully-
baby demon that can be
like-
crushed beneath your foot trivially.
Propose successfully shifts back around to, all right, that lesson I learned about when you run into difficulties with teaching, change angles, change perspectives, new direction. Yang, consider that in our situation, the question of what Freddy wants is not useful. It's not productive. It doesn't
Yeah,
provoke
that's a good point.
any result. Consider asking instead, and he will like turn into the demon, what are you capable of?
That actually snaps it to attention in the Sorcerer's Circle, as that is a direct command that it is hardwired to follow in this situation. I am capable of deception. I am capable of manipulation, of subterfuge, of examination
I don't
from
believe that.
examination from unseen angles. I am capable of shapeshifting into difficult to reach areas. I am capable of insinuating myself into groups. I am capable of understanding the perspectives of unorthodox positions.
This is our spy to see what's going on down there.
Hey, turn it into a stepladder.
What?
Turns into a-
It's
this
got
is just
eyes.
a regular ladder.
Yeah, it's
This
got
is not
eye-
a step ladder.
I drag its screeching metallic ass over to the spice rack and climb it.
Well, no, it's not metal. It's meat.
I drag its screeching metal ass over that, or meat ass over.
Metal.
You
Needle.
drag it exactly to the edge of the summoning circle, at which point
We
it
still
bounces
haven't
off an
finished the
invisible
ritual.
field.
What? Hey, turn the door off. I need to. I was gonna finish a gag.
Later.
No, later.
All right, fine.
Okay, Gygaxa. We need information and eyes within an impregnable fortress.
Yes.
Okay, pull out the map of the ley lines. All these ley lines are being dragged down deep into the underworld right here. I need you to slip into the underworld and get
Is in Underworld with Neverborn with dead titans?
maybe we haven't figured that part out yet.
Those should be
It-
very far from here.
Eldest pieces. Insight? Yes. Come here.
And if you could figure out why they're sucking all of this dragonline juice down, that would be really good to know.
Yes, of course. Yes, we'll acquire information and remain as subtle as possible, and remain hidden, and absorb information, and break. It actually stops and is having a moment of
No break.
no. It's a moment of I'm catching the words that it would say of is difference between entering impenetrable fortress and escaping inescapable prison?
I don't know.
Interesting. We'll be experiment to find out.
I think we'll all learn something new this day.
Yes.
Then the pact is sealed.
Yes. Serve loyally, I will. Yes. Serve Yang friend and mustache friend and terrifying cat friend and all friends.
As you are.
You should probably specify all friends is not correct. It is not all friends.
Well, I like the cut of this guy's jib.
And we are in fact
That's not-
establishing we are not friends with Purple.
Is 6 friends present? Yes.
Yep. 7, I want you to include the horse.
Oh, yes. Meat shape that trick. Yes.
Like friend.
Your cousin over there.
Your direct superior.
So yeah, the sorcerer's binding is sealed. The guy Gixa, Freddy, is now bound for a year and a day. Actually, no, task binding is indefinite until the task
He
is
is
complete.
until completion of task.
Yes. So yeah, no, this is an indefinite task. So, well, indefinite until completed or annihilation of the demon.
Get
So
in, learn things, get out.
So
Yes.
someone destroys his crab ass.
Equipment. On-site procure.
He's not a crab, he's like unshapely.
Yeah, crab.
Yeah, crab.
Crabs have a very defined shape.
funny thing is that the guy Gixa and the Raksha would probably have several things that they would find very affable about each other until they got to the points they would kill each other for. Just, fuck shapes. Yeah, you get it. And with that, I feel like that is a pretty good endpoint, with the next session being responses to escalating pressure, the guy Gixer's responses, and otherwise continuing towards the endgame of assaulting, entering, and exploring the whatever is down there.
A dungeon?
Yeah, I'm gonna just be open. Like,
Some kind of dungeon?
There
Come
will
on,
be
let's go
provocations.
exploring, boss.
There will
I
be
really hope there's no
provocations.
dragon
There will
down
be
there.
provocations, but you're going down there. There is no way you're not getting there. I will. It
There's
will
no
happen.
dragons in Exalted. What are you talking about?
It's us,
Wait,
we're the
Doc.
dragons.
You're gonna be going to explore the fucking the Weaver and the Loom of Fates knockoff Spencer Mansion, whether you want to or not.
Oh, we're gonna collect so many emblems.
Finally, food for fucking son of Ozzy.
Oh my god. Okay, I should spend some points in learning Moonlight Sonata.
Quick, learn a bunch of different defensive moves. We're about to fight.
Next
Next
time.
What a mansion.
What a mansion!
God.
The role of Barry will be played by Obsidian Shield.
Oh, absolutely.